Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So I am back. I'm sure some of you didn't even realize that I was gone. No. The last week I was sick. I couldn't talk without coughing. I sounded like Hillary Clinton giving a speech. Oh, it was awful. But I did one show. No, I did two shows. I take that back. But the last show that I did, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get through it. Because I finished my drink. I didn't have any cough drops. And I felt this really bad coughing spell coming on. And I was just really concerned because, am I going to be able to get through this? Or is it going to be horrible? Am I just going to keep coughing? And luckily, I was able to gain control over myself. Because because basically what I was doing in my mind, you're not going to cough. I don't care if you feel like coughing. You're not going to cough. So that was horrible. That was awful. But yeah, I'm back. So I'm on air now. Doing fine. Feeling great. Yeah. So we're going to have a great show. But anyway, guys, on Saturday, Donald Trump was in Iowa. And he was at a Joni Ernst event talking about a lot of his policies that he plans on enacting when he's president. Talking about what he plans on doing regarding the farming industry, along with religious liberty. And one thing that was really interesting that I had not heard before, and I actually looked it up, and he's talked about this policy before, but it was a repeal of the Johnson Amendment. Now, some of you probably don't know what the Johnson Amendment is. It was a bill that was, or really it was a U.S. tax code that was passed back in 1954 by Johnson's orders, President Johnson. And this amendment prohibited tax-exempt organizations like churches, like synagogues, from endorsing or opposing political candidates. So you had tax-exempt organizations prohibited from endorsing political candidates. And, oftentimes, even on a lot of nonprofit stations out there, one thing that we've, had to explain is that we present information on this show. The organizations themselves do not endorse or oppose candidates. However, we express our opinions on the issues, which is perfectly legal. However, saying, for example, our church does not support President Obama, and we support Donald Trump, or we support Mitt Romney at the time, which that would have been interesting considering that, Mormon. But anyway, that's something else. Just kidding. That's something else all on its own. But it'd be like that, all right? You couldn't do that. Or you would, have a good chance at losing your tax-exempt status, okay? Now, here's the thing, all right? Donald Trump wants to completely do away with that because it's been very problematic because you'd think that religious institutions would have the freedom of speech, right? They would have the freedom to support whoever they want because, let's face it, if you have a guy that wants to implement Sharia law running on the Democratic Party and you have a Christian evangelical running on the other side, you honestly think that churches should not have the right to endorse that Christian evangelical? I mean, I'm just saying. So this is really something that needs to be terminated. It's an infringement upon freedom of religion, freedom of speech. So it needs to go. But anyway, I want you to hear it for yourself. This is Donald Trump on Saturday talking about what he would do regarding the Johnson Amendment. Go ahead and play it.
I've been so honored to have the support of the evangelical community all over the country. All over. Incredible people. Incredible. And I hope we can continue to count on evangelical support on November 8th. Get out there and vote. We are going to do something very, very special. By the way, I'm Protestant. I'm Presbyterian. Can you believe this? Everyone says, really? I don't believe it. I'm Presbyterian. Very proud of it. We will get rid of the Johnson Amendment, which is a disaster. Happened in 1954 by Lyndon Johnson, which really is a horrible thing. It denies your pastors their right to free speech. And it's had a huge negative impact on religion. A huge negative. We will let your pastors, your ministers, your rabbis, your priests, we will let them speak again without losing tax deductibility.
So there you go. That's Donald Trump over in Des Moines, Iowa, I mean, that's just great. That is fantastic, because basically what has happened is that churches have been stripped away of their right to talk about stuff like this, to endorse candidates, to talk about, who would benefit the church more. They're not allowed to talk about that. They're not allowed to endorse candidates, and that is a big problem for many, many ministers. They want to be able to speak on these issues, and a lot of them do it anyway. But, guys, that's really one of the things that you have to pay attention to here, because, I mean, if we do not do something, and if we allow stuff to continue going the way that it is, we're going to continue losing our rights. And this was a right that was taken away from us back in 1954 through the Johnson Amendment. So here you have Donald Trump. He is taking a stand for not only evangelicals, but he's taking a stand overall for freedom of religion. So I'm going to tell you, this is a guy that we really need to get behind. We really need to support. And AFA was actually talking about, American Family Association, and based upon what somebody told me, they're on AFR. Squealed for a second there. Apologize for that. They're on AFR. They were talking about how Donald Trump met with some of the people there, and from what I understand, I think he contributed to them, but he's really been doing a phenomenal job reaching out to evangelicals. And from what we understand, I mean, you have Tony Perkins that is going to be on this council that Donald Trump is going to appoint, along with James Dobson and some others. So, I mean, this is a step in the right direction, and I think it's going to be quite fascinating to see what a Trump administration is going to be like, especially in advancing evangelical causes. And another thing that we're going to have coming up here, because actually I don't think I was able to get to this in the last show, but as you know, I have not really been all that afraid to talk about controversial issues. And one of the issues that I have not been afraid to talk about, definitely not, has been the issue of same-sex marriage. And, being a young guy, a lot of times people said, "Oh, you've got to get right on board with that, man. I mean, you're way out of you're out of times. You're a Neanderthal, all this stuff." I was just told that not long ago by somebody. Said that I needed to change my opinion on that. I mean, I've been told that by so many people, especially in the radio industry. I mean, I can think of probably around 6 or 7 people that are in the radio industry that have told me that I need to change my view on same-sex marriage, along with a few other issues, but that was the main one. And, I've always told them, no, I'm not going to change it. Why not? You are so out of times. That's going to hold you back. I said, no, it's not. I'm not going to become literally the devil's advocate here. I mean, I'm not in this business to, be the devil's buddy. Okay, I'm in this business because I want to change minds, and that's the direction I want to go in. I enjoy talking about these issues and trying to create persuasive arguments to get people to see my way of thinking, and that does not involve changing my way of thinking just to make more people comfortable. Okay, but anyway. Regarding this entire thing, and those of you who've listened to this show before, you know my opinion regarding science and the Bible. I think that legitimate science, true science, verifies everything that the Bible says, because science is simply just an explanation for God's creation, okay? It explains how God did everything and how everything works. So true science is not in conflict with the Word of God. And regarding this entire issue with same-sex marriage and homosexuality more specifically, what is it that we've been told for all these years? For all of these years, we have been told that homosexuals are born that way, right? That it is innate, that they cannot change, that is who they are. And guys, to be completely frank with you, who is, the guy that shares with you a message of hopelessness? The devil, right? Saying, oh, no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to break away from that sin. That is a message of hopelessness from the devil himself. Okay? So I've always said, eventually research is going to come out that is going to be on our side, because obviously God didn't say don't do this for no reason. Okay? Every single time that God says, do not commit adultery, do not fornicate, do not commit acts of homosexuality, do not steal, do not lie. He's telling us that because he doesn't want us to get ourselves into trouble, right? That's why he said, avoid harmful behavior. Avoid all appearances of evil. Why? Because evil behavior, harmful behavior, sin will hurt you. And he doesn't want us to bring harm to ourselves. So that's the reason why God has told us not to do certain things. Now, with the issue of homosexuality, now we're finding out by a John Hopkins professor, by a John Hopkins scientist, that there is absolutely no proof that people are born gay. This is a Johns Hopkins scientist. This is from Charisma News, and this has been verified by various other outlets as well. National Review also had an article in it. So the new Atlantis published a major report, Sexuality and Gender Findings from the Biological, Psychological, and Social Sciences. The report focuses on the higher rates and explanations for mental health problems among the LGBT community and scientifically addresses some of the most frequently heard claims about sexuality and gender. And they actually have a link to that entire piece there. It was written by Lawrence S. Mayer, M-A-Y-E-R, M.B.M.S. Ph.D., and Paul R. McHugh, medical doctor, both of Johns Hopkins University. The report explores research from more than 200 peer-reviewed studies across a variety of scientific fields, including epidemiology, I think is how you pronounce that. Excuse me if I mispronounced it. Genetics, and a bunch of other big words. Neuroscience, pediatrics, and embryology, I think is how you say that. But anyway, you get the idea. A lot of big words that are scientific. I'm not, I've got to learn to pronounce these words. Anyway, the report finds that the belief that sexual orientation is innate, biologically fixed, human property, that people are born that way, is not supported by scientific evidence. The belief, I'm going to read it again just so you guys hear it. The belief that sexual orientation is innate, biologically fixed human property, that people are born that way, is not supported by scientific evidence. Oh! Hey! How about that? Hey guys, I want to just do a little flashback, if you would, in your minds. Those of you who are familiar with me, and you know my history and how I became the professional figure that I am today. I'm joking about the arrogant thing, okay? But anyway, you guys are probably familiar with a little video that went viral when I was 13 years old and was only involved in the broadcasting industry for a year and a half, called Obama is Making Kids Gay. Yeah, I said Obama is making kids gay. And the reason why I said that was because I said that by President Obama endorsing same-sex marriage, it will cause a chain reaction that will infest the school systems and will encourage kids to come out of the closet and feel comfortable in identifying as being homosexual. And that's basically what I said. Now look at what's happened. Yeah, it turns out to be true. You have GSAs that are forming in practically every school now, in every high school, that are designed to make kids feel comfortable coming out and being gay. So, yeah, but, I don't get any credit for that by the mainstream media. They bash people, but they don't, ever report the truth. We know that for a fact. But anyway, guys, one of the big things that I said in that video, and this was the first phrase that I had said, homosexuality is a belief. It is a belief. Those were the first two sentences that I said in that video. And immediately upon saying that, people say, it is not a belief. That is so ignorant. How is it a belief? How is it a belief? Well, now here we're being told by two people who are very high up in Johns Hopkins with a PhD and an MD, a medical doctor, that it is a belief. How about that?
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1132. 800-826-1132. That's 800-826-1132. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as student loan debt, tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to
I'm
say
sorry,
it.
guys. I just had to rehash that because I said it was a belief. That was my exact wording. I said it was a belief. And people absolutely crucified me for it. Yeah, how can you say it's a belief? How could anyone say it's not a belief, it's a sexual orientation? And now we have two people from Johns Hopkins University calling homosexuality a belief. I'm sorry, I'm losing it. Oh, that is so funny. So funny. But, people aren't going to give me credit for that. I really don't care. Although it would be nice. But no. But it does show what I've been saying for all of these years. That homosexuality is not innate. People are not born that way. And it's all just this little imaginary thing in people's minds where they feel that they can't break away from it. But I've went into detail further because, see, one of the things is that while as much as I said was, regarding that being a belief, 13 was true, God has been able to use that entire incident that happened to me to give me wisdom on that issue. And I'm able to discuss it a lot more thoroughly than a lot of evangelicals out there because that's been an issue that I've, really had to deal with regarding talking about it and everything. Because, when you have thousands of people from the LGBT QRSTUV community coming at you and are saying, why are you hateful? Why are you this? Why are you that? Why do you feel this way? You have to come up with credible arguments to explain why you feel the way that you do. And now that I have a better understanding of how homosexuality works, about how sin works, I am able to talk about that issue a little bit better. And it is, not a little bit better, a lot better compared to 13. But, it's really been an eye-opener. And the reason why I have, went into detail is because I like to come up with convincing arguments and be able to express my beliefs based upon evidence, based upon information. Because if you do not have an opinion based upon facts, then it's not going to be all that credible. You might have those beliefs, you might have it because that's your personal standard of morality, but unless you have information to back that up, you're not going to be able to persuade anyone else. See, all of us are entitled to our own beliefs. And you can believe whatever you want, and you don't necessarily have to have factual information to be the basis for that belief. However, when you are, like in the business that I'm in, you have to be educated on these issues in order to make a compelling argument. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to convince anybody that you're right, or that, or really, you're not going to be able to present a credible opinion to somebody that they may have not have been able to come up with, that they may have never thought of before. So, that's one of the benefits that happen with that entire thing. But I've told you the reason why people feel that they are born that way, because I do genuinely believe, I personally believe that people who are gay, people who are homosexual, think that they were born that way, because that is what has been spoon-fed to them ever since the media started talking about this. They're born that way. It's something that is innate. They can't change. They can't do this. They can't do that. They legitimately feel that way. And when you have this thing that just completely takes over their life and you have no education regarding spirituality or the Bible, then yeah, you're going to think, oh my gosh, this is the way that I am. I can't break away from it. But see, guys, I'm going to be full-fledged honest with you. That is a tactic of the devil. That is a tactic of Satan himself, to make you believe that whatever life you're living in sin, you can't break away from. That's a message of hopelessness created by the devil. Because the devil came here to what did he come here to do? He came here to kill, to steal, and to destroy, right? That's why the devil's here. What does sin do? Sin is something that is pleasureful, right? But only for a limited amount of time. In other words, you're only going to be happy living in sin for a limited amount of time before eventually you're going to crash. And, if sin didn't have any pleasure to it, then guess what? No one would do it. That's why the devil created sin. He wanted to create something that would attract us, but would also destroy us. So in other words, he wanted to make us addicted to our own destruction. Understand? So if you do not give your life and give your soul over to Jesus Christ, and you don't get a hold over your flesh, and you don't allow your spirit to lead, you're all worldly, all right? You allow your flesh to take over everything. If it feels good, do it. when you do not have Jesus to be your liberator from that shackle that sin has placed on your life, you're going to remain enslaved to it. And that's the problem with a lot of these people who are gay out there. They do not understand how sin works. And because they have never truly had a close relationship with Jesus Christ, they've just given up. They feel that they are born that way, that they cannot change, and that's the direction that they head in. They don't make the decision, you know what, I'm not in control of my life, God is in control of my life, so therefore I'm going to live according to His standards. All right? And, you know, I'm just, that's the way that I've always looked at this issue since I started researching it and everything, because I began to understand, all right, you know what, these are people that need help. These are people that are not happy. I mean, look at the research and information about the depression rates among the LGBT community. And then you always have, you know, the select few people out there that say, oh, yeah, they're just depressed because people like you are oppressing them. No, I'm not oppressing anybody. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, there are lesbians that attend my school that they have never had a conversation with a Christian before until they talk to me. And they have no problem with me. A lot of them respect me. The ones, even the ones that are, you know, still living that way, a lot of them respect me because I don't hate them. I don't treat them poorly. And if they, you know, would ever make the decision, hey, you know what, I'm tired of living this life, they know who to come to. And there have been some of them who have, and they have changed. And, you know, those are, of course, personal stories, and I don't get into much detail talking about those. But I've seen people change from that lifestyle, give their heart over to God, and a transformation takes place. I have seen that happen before, and that's the reason why I've said on the air many times, you know, this is not innate, this is not inborn, this is a spirituality issue, not a mental issue or not a neurological issue. This is a spirituality issue. And it's just like this entire thing regarding transgenderism, okay? It is, and this was another term that I think it was another professor used. He said that it was a superstitious belief that a man can be trapped in a woman's body. In a woman's body. It is a superstitious belief that a man can be trapped in a woman's body. Because how in the world, if you were born a man, a biological male, how in the world can you possibly comprehend how a woman feels? You're just basing your entire gender upon gender stereotypes. Okay, and that's one of the things that's always been really funny to me, because those of you who are familiar with, you know, liberalism and conservatism and the whole feminist movement thing, do you remember what the feminists used to do? I mean, they would that was the primary thing that they'd fight against. Well, yeah, women can look like boys. There's nothing wrong with that. Brace your inner tomboy. There's nothing wrong with that. There are gender stereotypes. We have to fight gender stereotypes. And then the entire transgender movement is based purely upon gender stereotypes. So, I mean, that's the thing that's, you know, quite conflicting there with the liberal left. It's just like with Bruce Jenner wanting to, I think it was, I don't know if he wanted to do it or if the LGBT community wanted them to do it. But anyway, they were wanting to get Bruce Jenner all of the medals and everything that he won nationally or internationally, I mean, at the Olympics. They were wanting to get that switched over to the female division, to the women's league. They were wanting all of that credit to be, they wanted Caitlyn Jenner to be the most accomplished athlete. So all of his records would be transferred to the women's category. And that really just ticked off a lot of feminists. So there you have two liberal groups that are conflicting with each other, and they're at war. So it's it's really just quite funny when you really get down to it, because it's hysterical how the liberals are so hypocritical. Their views contradict each other's. It's amazing. It really is. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up to you so you guys are aware of that, and you can also go into National Review and find it yourself. But yeah, John Hopkins professors saying that homosexuality is not innate, people are not born that way, and it can be overcome. People can change and become straight.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Caiden Cowger, Somebody had to say it.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1132. 800-826-1132. That's 800-826-1132. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as student loan debt, tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Here's another thing I want to bring up regarding the whole transgender thing. Only a minority of children who experience cross-gender identification will continue to do so in adolescence or adulthood. So there's little scientific evidence for the therapeutic value of medical interventions that delay puberty or modify the secondary sex characteristics of adolescence. So only a minority of children who experience cross-gender identification of children will continue to do so in adulthood and in adolescence. So, these stories that you hear of where parents are getting their, 4-year-old little boy to transition into a girl, it's child abuse. And research shows apparently in this study that, that little boy might turn out to be a little girl. Because if you go from being a girl to being a boy, because your daughter thinks that she's a boy, research is showing, your daughter might actually start feeling like a boy or feeling like a girl when they're in adulthood. I wonder how that works. I'll tell you why. It's because of confusion that takes place in the home. You're raised in a strong Christian atmosphere. You are not going to be a cross-dresser, a transgender, whatever. You're not going to be. It's not going to happen. I mean, Bible says what? Bible says you raise your kids right. What you teach them will stick with them into adulthood, and they'll follow it. They won't break away from the faith. And, that's one of the reasons why I'm the way that I am when it comes to Christianity. Now, of course, when it comes to political issues, I studied a lot more than my parents and really anybody. But this is really what I do a lot of research on, that in the Word. But my entire life, I was raised by a devout Christian pastor, and he raised me to be a devout Christian kid. Because, a lot of times you hear about pastors' children going off and being wild. No, my father, my mother, they raised me to be a born-again believer in God and to do the right thing, to love God with all of your heart and serve Him. And I have. I've stuck with it. And, especially in the last few years, my relationship with God has just continued to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And when you raise your kids right, and I don't take that as, a gloating thing. That's all, it's because of my parents. My parents taught me the faith when I was little, and I was raised in it. I see what happens to people outside of Christianity, and that's one of the reasons why I've stayed in it, being, a 18-year-old teenager. I look around and I see people who aren't Christians, and I look, and they're so depressed, they're so upset, they live for something rather than living for God. They just live for the moment. And I just don't understand that. I've never been able to understand that. It's just like people who become reliant on all these drugs and stuff, because one of the big problems, if you've been paying attention to the news at all, we have a massive drug epidemic in West Virginia. And it is bad in the school systems. It's bad at my high school. It is bad throughout West Virginia. There is a drug problem here. And I look at these kids that I know are engaging in this stuff, and I'm thinking, my gosh, that is so sad. That is so sad, because I know how sin can just completely take over your life, right? I've seen it happen in other people. Sin can completely absorb a person's life to where that's all that they focus on. A lot of these people who are doing drugs, that's what they talk about. All that they can talk about is this new opioid or this new, sport. Oh, hey, we have some weed here. You want to smoke it after school? That's all that they talk about. That's all that they think about. And I'm thinking, my gosh, that stuff has so much control over your life. Why would anybody want that? It's so sad that their life is being controlled by a plant, by a substance. It's unfortunate. But guys, that's what I look at. And then when I look at Christianity, everything that I have learned, everything that I have seen throughout all these years, I'm free. I am free from sin. I am willingly a servant to God. I'm living for Him, and as a result, I'm being blessed for it. I mean, I feel I am blessed. A lot of the stuff that I've been able to accomplish at a teenage level, I mean, I've really been blessed by God, and I thank Him for it as much as I can. And guys, there's blessings that come when you serve the Lord. And one of those blessings is feeling. You feel free. You don't feel like you're in bondage to anything. You feel separated from all that. And then if you're, if something would happen where you are confronted with a decision, are you going to do the right thing or are you going to do the wrong thing? When you step in and you make that right decision, having the power to make that decision through the strength that God gives you, despite all of this peer pressure, that's pretty good. Because you can do the right thing even if it means being the only one doing it. In other words, you're able to stand alone because God is standing behind you. So guys, I mean, that's really just what I've looked at all these years. And there have been spiritual things I've seen that have also been contributing factors. But the big thing has been seeing what happens to other people's lives that do not have God, that do not have Christ. They are miserable. And I'm just going to tell you right now, if there's anybody listening to the radio program that does not know Jesus, does not know God, you need to get to know Him. You need to know the Lord. Because if you are living a life of misery and you are unhappy, you're depressed, you feel like every day is a struggle, you're suicidal, I don't know. But if you feel like every day is a struggle, that you are enslaved to sin, you're enslaved to homosexuality, to drugs, to alcoholism, to sex, whatever it may be, God can completely transform your life and make it new. All things are passed away. Behold, all things become new. Your life can completely transform and turn over to God. And all you have to do is just repent, ask God to forgive you of all those sins, and look at Him, go strive for Him. The best way to avoid temptation, the best way to escape sin is to run to God. Okay? So if you are having a life that is being controlled by sin, if you're living a life that is constantly depressing, where it's a struggle, give your life, give your soul, give your spirit over to God, and He will change you. Matter of fact, I'll pray with you right here. If you're driving, don't close your eyes, but you can. But if you are, if you need to get your life right with God, I'll pray with you right now on air. All right, repeat after me. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, I admit that I'm a sinner. I believe that you died and rose from the grave. I believe that you sent your Son, Jesus Christ, to save me from all sin. From this day forward, I accept Christ as my Lord and Savior. Forgive me and cleanse me from every sin. I take authority over my sin, and I break every bondage that it has placed on my life. Come into my heart. Give me strength in all areas where I am weak. I will reject sin. I will become a servant to righteousness, and I surrender my life over to you. I will do your will. Cleanse me from every sin and set me free. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, if you prayed that and you're looking for a transformation to take place, you have to be willing to make a change. You're a baby Christian now, okay? Now you've got to be willing to grow in God. Start looking for places to go. Myrtle Beach, great church to go to, Calvary Chapel. Calvary Chapel, Myrtle Beach. Know the pastor there, that's the radio station that we're on, WXMB, Pastor Ron and his brother Patrick, great men of God. I know that they would be absolutely phenomenal to help you out if you're in West Virginia. A great church to go to is Center Branch. That's another fantastic church. But start striving to build a relationship with God, and you will see a massive positive transformation take place in your life.
Caiden Cowger.
Keeping America straight.
Somebody had to say it.
If you've ever been looking for a way to invest your money, gold can be a very good investment. Let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is one of the best companies in the business dealing with gold and other precious metals. They have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and can offer spectacular information on investing in gold. All you have to do is call 1-800-932-4108, and they will give you the knowledge that you need to make an investment. Even if you've just been curious about purchasing gold, this is a great group that can provide you with reliable information. Call 1-800-932-4108 and also ask them about some of their ebooks, such as 10 Shocking Reasons Why You Should Buy Gold and the Definitive Gold Guide. These resources are great for anyone, especially those that are just curious about investing. Call 1-800-932-4108. And some of their products that they offer are quite amazing. I mean, they have the gold bars, they have the gold coins, but they also have this thing called a Valcambi bar. And this is basically just a little bar about the size of a credit card that can fit into your wallet, made up of little grams of gold. So anytime that you just want a gram of gold, you just break one of them off. It's really quite neat. So by all means, contact our friends at Capital Gold Group. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. Once again, that is 1-800-932-4108.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1132. 800-826-1132. That's 800-826-1132. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as student loan debt, tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. 1132.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say
All
it.
right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. So, yeah, I want to tell you something real quick. I'm going to use the last segment for an announcement. There's a thing called Festival of Life that's taking place in Clarksburg, West Virginia. And for several months, a lot of churches have been participating in a thing called Create Change. And basically, it's where we're fighting the drug epidemic in West Virginia, poverty in West Virginia, and really just this stronghold that's like taking over our state where there's just, you have people who are Christian tend to be religious. They're not truly serving God. In other words, they have the appearance of godliness but deny its power. That's been a big problem in this state. Another problem that we've had here is drugs. It's been a big one, especially among the youth, as I was talking a little bit about earlier. And there's some stuff that needs to happen in West Virginia. So we've really been praying a lot of these churches around here. And it's really just an event that really you ought to come to and invite people to. It's going to be in Clarksburg, West Virginia. 4th through the 14th is how long this Festival of Life is going to be taking place. So starts this Sunday. It's going to be at Clarksburg, West Virginia, at the amphitheater there. It's located at Veterans Park right there beside of the VA. You have the sheets right across from that as well. Milford Street is the main one to go on to. But you can go and find out more by going to festivaloflife.us. Click on the Clarksburg one. They also have one, I think, going out in Pennsylvania right now. But anyway, guys, yeah, definitely be sure to get to that. It's really just going to be a fantastic event to go to. Jonathan Shuttlesworth, a good friend of mine, is going to be there. Fan of the show.
There's too many dummies on the radio that saved up $40 a week to have their own show. Caiden Cowger is not one of them. It's a good show.
And those of you, I think I've mentioned him before, but he's really just a phenomenal evangelist, really anointed by God. I know that church, that Center Branch I was telling you about earlier, it really just exploded when Jonathan went there. I mean, people started attending. They started getting saved. I was watching kids that were my age that you could tell they weren't living right. And they were like bawling like a baby, coming up to the altar, crying their eyes out. And I come back a year later and hear a lot of them that I saw that day that I went there are doing great. They have given their hearts over to God, and they are living for Him. And it's just absolutely amazing what has happened at that church. But it's really, I mean, we are living in the last days. A lot of people believe that. I definitely believe that. And people need to start getting saved. They need to start opening their eyes again. And it's really imperative that we start witnessing to people, because before Jesus comes back, we had better do everything that we can to get our neighbors saved. I mean, we've really got to make an effort to witness, because that's one thing that I've often criticized the church over. We don't witness anymore. Now you have like the Calvary Chapel there in Myrtle Beach. You have the radio ministry, which that's a wonderful outreach thing of all its own. But they do a great job witnessing. They do a great job ministering to people. You have a lot of these other churches, though, that do not go out. They do not go outside of the four walls of the church. And, Jesus' ministry was really on the street in a lot of cases. I mean, it's important to have a church, but you go out on the street and you witness to people and you bring them to the church so they can spiritually grow. And that's what you're supposed to do. But, I mean, that's we really need to see a change take place in this country, and we need to start turning back to God again. But in order for that to happen, people cannot be lazy. And they need to start, getting out and witnessing again. And I encourage you guys to do that. Support your local church. Encourage people to go to it. Unless you're serving a cult or something. Then, you can just refrain from doing that. No. But no, guys, it's really important that we start getting people saved. We start getting people, leading people to the Lord again, because that's really one of the mistakes that has happened. I mean, it's so absolutely upsetting. We've got to start witnessing again. We've got to start being soul winners for God again. Start witnessing to your friends. Start witnessing to the people that you know. And express to them the importance of developing a relationship with God. Well, anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us tonight. Once again, that's going to be Festival of Life at the Veterans Park in Clarksburg, West Virginia, starting at 7 o'clock. Registration starts at 5:30. Be sure to go to it. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to us. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. For the latest news exposing left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God save this nation.